What is up, everybody? It is Friday night, 3 Men in the Basement. We've got a packed house here in the grotto. We've got everybody. We've got TiVo. We've got the Big To Do, and we got a great show planned for you tonight, so stay tuned.
There's nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Well, boy, do I love that. We have reached to the outer limits to get this show together. So what's up, everybody? Happy Friday, you guys. Thank you very much for watching 3 Men in the Basement. Tonight's a very special night because all the way from California, we have TiVo and the Big To Do. But before we introduce them, I'm going to introduce my 3 Men in the Basement, my cast of characters. As always, running the show today, David and Cave's got the day off. We have Nemesis Prime running the show. Nemesis Prime, what's up, buddy?
How is everybody doing tonight? Wearing my 3 Men in the Basement sweatshirt. Reminder that we're doing our 1,250 subscriber giveaway, and this is the hashtag you use. And I just posted the link. You could still enter if you have not entered in the description. So check that out. And that's all I got. Go ahead.
Awesome. As always, Mr. Superman himself, we have David E. Cave, the assistant producer tonight. Dave, how you doing tonight? Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, guys. Let's get into it.
All right, there we go. We got some good stuff. And then below him, usually typically next to me for the show, but again, he's sitting in Carriage Hill Pub, the Chewy to this hand solo, right? We've got Mr. Roger Levesque. Roger, how we doing at Carriage Hill Pub?
What's going on, fellas? I'm usually there to make sure you don't hurt yourself, so I hope everything goes all right tonight.
That's right.
I don't thank everybody for watching. Holding it down at the Carriage Hill Pub here.
All right, and we're going to slide over on the other side of the corner below me. We have the Dark Lord himself, TiVo. What's going on tonight? Thank you very much for joining us.
What's up?
All right, there you go. And the special guest, Comics Toons and Toys himself, Mike, the Big To Do for the first time in the grotto. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Mike. This has been I'm very happy you're here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This will be fun.
Yeah, this will be fun. So, guys, just so you know, the plan for tonight is we're going to talk to Mike a little bit about what's going on. He's got a big live sale tomorrow. We're going to talk about that. We've got some unboxing, so stick with us. We've got our 1,250 subscriber giveaway. We've got lots of news about Rocket Comics, but let's get started. So this all started through TiVo and stuff like that when we started talking about comic books, and he always talked about Comics, Toons, and Toys and what a great shop it was, and Tim would go there and tell us all these good deals. And then we actually met for the first time, Mike, at Baltimore, right? Me, you, Justin, and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And
a couple of artist folk, too.
Yeah, right. Greg Land was there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the funny story about that was Justin and I are sitting at the bar with our backs turned to you guys, and all of a sudden, Tim, what do?
I get a text from the Big To Do. He texts me, and he goes, "Hey, are these your guys?" And then he takes a picture of your bald head from behind you. And I go, yeah. I said, that's Otto, and that's Justin. Because they were literally, Mike was literally sitting a table away from you with Rock and I think Greg Land at the time or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really, really funny. So that's how this all started. And then we talked to Scott from Rocket Comics and Mike, and it was just a great time. So we're going to do that. But Roger, who do we have hanging out with us in the live chat? Let's give some shout outs.
Yeah, we got Sith Lorley, Asaurus Tiger, The Butcher, Mark Knapp 68, Burke Family Comics. Let's go back here. The Manimal.
Nice.
NY Warriors hanging out with us. Check out their show, their channel for sure. They do a lot of great auctions, which are killing my wallet. Comic Book Fiend Club's on here.
Hey. Oh, good. Yeah.
Thomas Caps, Mr. Walkers, Randy Sloan. What's up? Go Blue.
All
Chad
right.
Crow. Got a lot of people hanging out here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you very much for spending this Friday night with us. I know you guys could be other places, but you're choosing to watch us tonight.
No, we can't. We're all stuck at home.
I know. But yeah, exactly. So when this gets done, and this will end eventually, we'll be able to go out. I hope you guys can still support us and Lords of the Long Box. So Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself as what you do right now and your job right now.
Okay. So I'm the owner of Comics Toons and Toys. It's in Tustin, California. We've been there 32 years. And a little bit of the backstory behind that is I actually worked there for almost the first 10 years of the store's operation as just an employee. And then I had a son, and when he was born, I started staying home with him for a while, and then I went into a different career path. But I always stayed friends with the previous owner, and would go in there and talk, and we'd have dinners and whatnot. And at one point, he asked, if I would like to have a go at the shop. And so we sat down and worked all that out and basically traded roles, where he works at the shop now and I run it. And so on and off, I've had my hand in the store for almost its entirety.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So that's really cool. So what I like to do when we have guests on, I like to talk a little bit about the psyche of the collector, right? Because we're all collectors. Shout out to Chad Crow for giving me $2.
Thanks a lot. Cell block fund.
That's going to go in my commissary. I might be able to get a Pop-Tart out of this. So, so Mike, just tell us a little bit about your collecting. Like,
sure.
So you just didn't go and work at a comic shop. Like, were you a collector? No. What was the first thing you ever collected? Let's start with that.
Star Wars toys and toys. Like, I grew up in Arizona, and my mom would go to a lot of garage sales and pick up toys and stuff there. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, and she'd bring me bags of product home. And I remember very much, like, when I got my first, I should rewind. When I got a Star Wars toy in a box once, a little guy called a Power Droid, and he was just this little robot. And I got him at the garage sale, and I was like, all right, he goes in the junk drawer, and the Star Wars stuff's all over here. And when I got my first Star Wars figure, and I looked at the back of the card, I'm all, oh, that guy's actually a Star Wars guy, out of the junk box into the regular box, So I remember that vividly. It was toys I was into more than comics. And then I remember going to 7-Elevens and Circle K's and buying like the kids type stuff, like the Richie Riches and the Archies, and trying a few like Justice Leagues and things. And I remember the first comic that I bought that really got me into him was Daredevil 186. It's a cover where he's falling off some buildings. He's fighting the Stilt Man. It's a Frank Miller run. And then also like the X-Men were fighting the Brood at the time. And at the back of the Marvel books, they would tell you the whole like 20 books that were out for that month or whatever. It was really easy to keep up with. And I was excited about it. I remember skipping stuff like I was really into the X-Men, but I didn't like Wolverine when he was maskless. His hair bothered me. So I remember like all excited when I saw he had a limited series coming out, and every issue of the limited series he had no mask on the cover. So I skipped every issue. I'm like, I'll buy the next one. I'll buy the next one. I never bought a single one of those because he had hair on the cover. So,
that's funny.
Awesome. So you weren't actually going to like an LCS. You were going to like 7-Elevens, like you just said, like, so.
Yeah, 7-Eleven and Circle K.
Right. So it's a wonder that, it's funny though, because when we talk about these books, and I'm sure everybody will agree, we'll go around and talk about it, that books that you bought from spinner racks still come back high grades, right? Like, those books that were out there and, everybody would thumb through it and you're like, creases, like, the worst thing ever. So,
well, I'll tell you this though, for sure. Like when we buy collections at the shop, there's people who've like taken a lot of time to protect their comics, but putting a damaged book into a bag and board and putting it in a box, the book's pre-damaged,
Yeah.
Or we bought plenty of collections that have been sitting in a garage, unbagged and boarded in piles since the book came out from the original owner, and they'll come back 9/8 from a book from God knows when, and it's just been because it's been chilling in the garage the entire time. If you're not touching it, nothing's happening to it,
Right. That's really interesting. So you get the Star Wars figures, you start buying the comics, and then you're kind of into it. And you're like, was the comic shop your first job, or did you have other jobs and then you went into
I worked at a TJ Maxx. It was one of my first jobs, and I was a dishwasher before that. But I remember going in and at the store, because there was a few years when I didn't work there upon its early fledgling times, and I'd walk in, I'd complain to the owner. I was friends with him, and I'd be like, oh, my job, blah, 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 blah. Because I was going there even in high school. And I was moaning about stuff then. And eventually, I think he got tired of me moaning about my jobs. Like, would you like to work here? And gave me that. And it was right around the time when the shop was moving from its smallest location to one of its second to it's only been in 3 spots. To the middle spot it was moving to. And I did it for credit, for trade. And I remember moving everything. We got it all over there, got it set up. And I didn't know what I was allowed to take. So I was collecting everything. I remember reading a lot of Hulk at the time. Like the John Byrne and the McFarlane Hulk run is what I wanted. So I filled up a box of product, brought it to the counter to buy it. I had my bike there. I was going to buy it. And the owner's like, oh, you can just take that for helping me move. Well, in my pocket, I had, a couple $100, so I'm like, all right, well, I'll take it. So I put it on my handlebars on my bike, biked it on home, dropped it off, biked on back. I'm still determined to spend my money. And so I came back in, and I wrangled up whatever else it was. And I remember coming to the counter, and he started to ring me up, and his wife was there, and she's like, "Don't ring him up for that stuff. Give him that stuff too." So I got that. So I got like 3 loads of comics for doing that move. It's just funny, the stuff that sticks with you,
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then, so you get into the shop, and then this whole, during the 90s, well, you know what? Let me stop right
there
here.
then.
Yeah. Well, unbelievable, right? The fact that you still survived. So,
well, that's true.
I've asked you a few questions. If anybody in the live chat has questions for Mike, let's do that. But, Roger, Dave, Justin, any questions for Mike while we've got him here? Like, I'm sure you guys have tons of stuff.
Good as Gold had a question. It said the difference between West Coast collecting and East Coast collecting because of the humidity and heat. I mean, I guess the guys on the West Coast don't know the difference because they're on the West Coast.
Right. I can only speak from this side.
Do you have
issues with
heat and humidity with the books?
No, I just think, I'm not opposed to bagging and boarding this stuff and doing whatever, but I think it's going to outlive us all. I don't think you have to do that much to keep it. Literally, we have millions of books in the back of the store that are not bagged and boarded. Imagine the amount of space that a box of bags and boards is occupying. And it's like, we've bought collections. We bought a 2-car garage full of products from the 70s one time, and I never took the time to bag and board them. And you'll see even on the show, we've got I've got a bunch of Kirby Black Panthers. We have big stacks of them. They're just as clean as they were when they came out. Sitting back there from 1970 something. So
okay,
wow.
Let me answer that. Let me help Mike answer that, because I think I've lived on the East Coast. I lived in Texas. I lived in the West Coast, and Mike can speak to this. And he didn't bring it up, but in California specifically, we do not have many attics or basements, but what we do have are tons of storage units. And so typically you have a lot more places where people buy storage units full of comics, where back East or the Midwest, wherever, you have people can store their books in, say, attics, basements, except we do not have that. Square footage is at a premium in the Bay Area and in greater Los Angeles area. So you don't, and plus you just don't build attics because there's fucking earthquakes, it's common sense, right? So a lot of people have, and Mike, I don't want to give away his secrets, but he has storage units, and he's bought storage units full of comics as well. I don't know how prevalent that is on the East Coast, but if you go down to Florida, you also have a lot of people, like San Diego's a lot like Florida, a lot of retirees and a lot of collections are, that's why there's a ton of comics that you see in Florida, and there's a lot in southern parts of Southern California and Arizona, where there's a lot of retirees, and it's dry as it's dry as hell. But I can go to anywhere in the country, and as soon as the humidity goes up a certain level, I can feel it immediately, because we're just so used to living in what is basically a desert out here.
So are the storage units conditioned?
Some of them can be, some aren't.
More you pay,
what
if
you
you
want to
pay
pay
for it,
for.
you get it, yeah.
Because if
I'll
we
tell you
can
on the flip
imagine
side,
storing comics in an unconditioned space here in the East Coast, it would be destroyed after 2 seasons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
On the flip side, though, with like having stuff in storage units and things, as opposed to basements and attics, I think you're more likely to find older, better product in a basement or attic, where you're not paying a revenue stream to keep it there. It gets put up there by you, your parents. It gets forgotten. It stays there longer. California, demographic-wise, there's far more people per space, so it's good on a selling standpoint, but it's also bad on a buying standpoint, because you're competing against so much more people for the same product. It's the same reason the real estate's expensive here, Well, I guess the same in New York too, but there's just areas, like if you go to like Colorado, you're going to find stuff that's been lurking in someone's basement in some brick house for God knows when. You just don't find that stuff here. It's a much newer community. Irvine that we're in was in 1971. It's when it was founded. So it's like there isn't old money, old product tied up in here at all. It's always new.
Everybody knows everybody around here.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that when you find books, because what we find right here, when I talk to a lot of people that hunt books and find them in somebody's attic, or on the flip side of it, you talk to so many people that say, "Oh, I lost that during the flood when my basement got flooded."
You hear that all the time.
Oh yeah. But it's funny because a lot of the books that I find, You can tell where the mice have nibbled at the corners.
Oh
So
my
those are
God.
the books that have been put up in attics, and the mice have got there, right, Justin? Right, Dave?
For their
Oh yeah,
nuts.
absolutely. It's different on the East Coast. Like you said, I had a storage unit at one time. I was living in an apartment. I ended up having to move. I didn't have a place to put my comics, so I ended up buying like a small, I think it was like 4 feet by 4 feet storage. And I would visit it like every 2 weeks. I would bring my stuff that I was collecting, or just whether buying on a weekly basis or just collecting in general. And I would go and visit and spend a good hour or two. And I used to post it on Instagram that I'm hanging out in my storage unit, just organizing stuff or taking stuff, getting ready for conventions and, things that I was going to slab or things that I was going to get signed. So yeah, it's a little different for everybody, but Very Gary, when he goes out for collections, I mean, exactly like he tells you, he finds them in attics, finds them in garages, and that's where they're really kept. And I've been and looked at collections, and that's really where people are keeping them. And because we have so much space and we have attics and garages, unlike the West Coast, which Mike said that there is, real estate is a premium. So
you don't have a backyard; you have a patio.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
Plus,
So
our
actually,
humidity kills it.
I know it does. It really does. So you got to be careful. So we've got a lot of questions rolling in for Mike. So let's just field them. So Matt Forge is we'll get to Matt, then we got Kratos, and then we got Uncle Frank. So
this is fun. I'm glad I'm doing this. All right, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So does Mike slab any of his personal collection, Mike?
So I guess there's a double edge on that. I have what I would consider almost two personal collections. I've got the one that's all like the mega key stuff, and all of that is slabbed. I like just taking the ambiguity out of people discussing grades, and some of the books, depending how old they are, I'd rather have them encapsulated like that. But the God's honest truth is those are the kind of books that when I hit a certain age in my life, I'll probably just sell them off for something. Being in the business where you get a lot of people who've passed on and people have to deal with these people's estates, I don't want to leave that kind of stuff for my family. So when I get to a certain point in life, I've made a kind of a mental commitment to thin out a lot of what I've collecting, so my family just deals with revenue. But my personal collection, the stuff that I actually care and like about that I grew up having, are books that in general tend to have zero value to them. And I don't want to slab them because I want to open those issues of Rom and flip through and see him fight with Namor, the sea creature.
yeah, right.
It's like, and I actually thought about this even as early as this morning. Do I want to slab some of my personal books in high grade and have them? And I'm like, I don't. I like the nostalgia of I remember getting these books on a Greyhound bus and driving across country and rereading Rom 33 through 35 like 7 times in the 8 hours we were on that bus. So like I literally in my collection I have like 3 issues of Rom, 3 issues of Justice League that are like my favorite books. And my favorite books there's probably have the highest dollar value is like $2 a book,
Really? Oh, that's awesome. That's
crazy.
Fantastic. All right. So we have another question right here from Kratos 99. What's Mike's most prized book toy that you own?
Again, that's tricky because like monetarily, it's probably Batman #1, like that I have that's the best in my collection. But
that's
as far as
no big deal.
That pretty much beats my entire collection.
Yeah.
But as far as like my favorite books, it's literally 3 issues of Contest of Champions are probably my 3 favorite books on the planet. As a kid, that I was getting these books off the shelf, and it exposed me to all these superheroes that I've never had, exposure
Mike,
to before.
what's your grade on Amazing Fantasy 15? And was it a 6 or 7?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have 3, and
oh my god,
I want to say it's
the highest grade,
4.5, I think.
Wow,
that's not bad.
Is it raw or is it graded?
They're all graded. I mean, when I bought it, it was a 4. I think it was a 4. And at the time, this is when we had access to a lot of Stan Lee stuff. So I very fearfully had it cracked open. This is actually by Rocket, so thank him. But cracked it open, got it signed by Stan, and it went up a grade point.
Wow.
Nice.
Then another one I did a trade / buy, and it's that I don't remember. It's a 3. I think I have a 2.5, a 3.5, and a 4.5. But
very linear, very very linear.
Yeah. One of them I bought was in that last collection I got in December. The other 2 I bought slabbed or traded for. So when I bought them at whatever the market premium was at the time, they didn't fall into my lap.
And I think you got like what 9 or 10 giant size X-Men? Is that your
I had 11
board,
and
right?
I got rid of all of them but 3. I have 2 out at CGC, but I kept the 3 highest grades, and they're all signed by Stan. So
Wow.
Wow. All
Hey,
right.
do you have
we go back to Comics to Champions. I got more to talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's right.
When it gets big, we'll talk about it.
Hey Otto, do you
I
have
guess we're done with it.
do you have the Cannonball graphic?
I do not. No, I don't have that. Loaded,
Holy
so.
shit. Okay. I won't say anything yet.
Okay. So we do have Uncle Frank has a good question right here, and I like this idea. I like this question. Mike, what's the biggest Grail book that you had no idea you owned, or something like to that extent?
Contest of Champions.
That would probably have to. Well, I can tell you that at this point, I'm pretty savvy about what I have, and my personal collection of CGC books is literally only 4 boxes, 3 boxes. It's not a lot, so I know what's in there. I'll tell you some of the mistakes that I made when I first took over the store, and I was doing YouTube videos at the time. So I put up in the video, there's a Supergirl by Adam Hughes where she's sitting on the asteroid. Right?
Oh yeah.
And so when I took over the store, I don't think I can describe to you guys and to make you clearly understand the amount of mass product that was there. For example, we liquidated 6 20-foot U-Hauls of product out of the store, which didn't even make a dent in it. It was like Looney Tunes rooms. You'd open a door and it'd be like just a solid wall of comics. But anyway, when it came to that Supergirl on the asteroid, I was going through some boxes, found one, thought it was a cool cover, kept it, put it on the YouTube video. Yep. Took the other 3 of those books that were in the same box, bargained them off to the Philippines. Okay, along with
you had 4 of those, Mike. You had 4.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
But the 3 went to the Philippines at $8 a box is what we sold the boxes for. Okay,
oh my god.
And also in that same box there was the Lee Bermejo bowing to the dark side cover. There was like 3 or 4 of those. I'm like, I don't care about that. That went off too. So I'm like, I'll tell you what was. So that was in. Technically, I owned them. They were mine. And I just didn't know they had value, and I got rid of them. So, I mean, there was that. There was also one sale I did on that Spider-Man Venom cover where it's got Mary Jane as Venom, and she's all, "You just lost the jackpot."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I had that, and I gave that away for a low amount, not knowing it's. I sold a first Moon Knight. But this is even before I knew about like CGC stuff, like just knowing about it. And I'm like, man, I should grade this. This is the cleanest book I've ever seen. Whatever, it's going to be a 9.8, whatever. I sold it for $6 to a dealer at a show after he talked me down from $10.
No way.
So, I mean, those are probably the best books I've had that I didn't know that I should have held on to or should have didn't know the value of them.
I'll refresh your memory, Mike. I remember you telling me when you bought the store, you found a bunch of those what if Venom possessed Deadpool.
Yeah, but at the time I was getting like $25, $30, whatever that was kind of market value at the time. But
that was before it went to like a $200, $300 book.
Yeah, there was like 8 or 10 of those at the store.
That's
like,
it.
For example, I would go in a room and I would find like Scott Campbell Black Cat books, and there'd be like 25, 30 copies of each. Or not the one with Black Cat's like holding the pearls in her mouth, the kissy covers, those ones. Like a book like Outcast that was actually hot at the time. There was 150 copies of that sitting in the store.
Damn, that's crazy.
Oh my god. We need to make a trip out to California.
I know.
Well, I heard stories from people who were shopping at the store prior to me being there, and some of the things they got, because the store was basically what people would call the honey hole. They'd find all this stuff that like wasn't really being researched and just stuck out. Like I remember helping a customer, giving him that Batman 880 with the bat faces flying off of it.
The
and like I just went in the back and he's like, "Do you have that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, here it is. $2."
$2. $2.
Yeah. Hey, $2.
That's
or I'm bargaining it to the Philippines. One or the other.
So Otto, let me introduce the folks that are perhaps newer to YouTube who I actually found out about Mike is Mike had a YouTube channel called The Big TADO. And some of his most popular videos was a giant buy that he did, and he was posting like just crazy books. And then I finally met him. And I said, your shop is right down the street. I didn't know that because when I first moved to Irvine, I went to the shop and it was under the previous ownership, and it was just overwhelming. It wasn't organized yet. It was overcrowded. It had the space next door, which basically housed all their manga, if I believe right, Mike. The store next door was all the manga.
The store used to be double the size. When I took over, the two philosophies I had were make more money, spend less money, right? So like we got rid of literally half the store. That's where we were bargaining those truckloads of comics from. And by weird coincidence, right at the time of buying the store, I was already doing shows. So I had a garage full of comics. And then we bought that 2-car garage full of comics, like literally 3 months into having the shop. So, and then the shop had a storage unit. So there was a time when I think, and I'm going to stand by this, I think we had more comics than Mile High had comics.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
So the Mike used to do these videos and he would just, I mean, he was getting thousands of views, and this was 2014, 2015, right around then. So Mike is like even before I was on YouTube, I was following Mike, and then I got befriended Mike.
You got me on Instagram.
Yeah, I got him on Instagram. And then one of the famous, most liked pictures I have on Instagram was me going to Mike's booth before Captain Marvel movie was announced, and he probably had about 27 issues of Captain Marvel #1. And I took a picture of him. I go,
Ms. Marvel.
and I jokingly like, who wants one? And I swear to God, 50 people messaged me, hey, grab me.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, there was 175 copies of Ms. Marvel #1 in that garage.
Who buys that?
Talk about that first. Talk
That's
about
crazy.
that store, that unit you bought that had it had a tons of Bronze Age like goodies that are hot now.
Yeah, we bought this garage, is what it was, and it was a store that was a bookstore that carried comics, and I guess it was a very large bookstore, and they shut down probably in the 80s, but had products from the 70s, and they just boxed it up and put it in the garage. And I went to this person's house, and remember, I just bought the store, and I worked in childcare before this. I took basically my entire savings, bought the store, went from having a job with a guaranteed paycheck to a job with no paycheck and in debt and no savings.
Yeah.
Okay? So I go to this person's garage, and they're like, hey, we have all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I'm looking through it, and I go to look for Spider-Man 129 and Hulk 181 because they had it relatively organized. And I'm like, let's see what the big ones are there. And they weren't there. So I said, was this been already gone through? Oh, and they're like, yeah, we picked out some stuff, and they rattled off we had X-Men 1s and Fantastic Four 1s and things like that. So this guy, and to rewind a bit, when he came into the store, he had this pile, a real smidge of comics, brought it in, and he goes, do you want to buy these books? And the only thing in there was a first Iron Fist, the Marvel Premiere 15. I'm like, I'd like this. He's like, no, this is a sample. We've got the garage. So I go to there, and I said, look, full disclosure, I go, look, I can pay you $10,000 for the garage. That's literally all the money I have to be out of everything. He's like, okay, well, think about it. Thanks, bye. It was this guy and his sister, and he calls me back and goes, look, we had higher offers, but my sister really liked your demeanor. If you want it for $10,000, you can buy it. And I'm like, I don't know, $10,000, whatever. And so we ended up buying it, and obviously it worked out well because there was, 150 plus copies of Star Wars 1, the Marvel Star Wars 1 in there before all the new movies came out.
Right.
And so we graded them, and at the time, a 9.8 was going for $1,500, right? And I got 10 9.8s. So those 10 9.8s paid the entire collection. Right? So 10 books paid for the 2-car garage. Literally, this was all fortunate timing. I bought comics right when all the movies were doing what they're doing and all the hype, right? But I was looking through there. One thing that was funny in that collection too was there was a box of Alf and Alpha Flight, and I was digging through it, and I was looking honestly for that Alf issue where he's raping the seal on the cover.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going through the Alf. There's 3 giant size X-Men in the Alfs, and I'm like,
right.
But it's still, that was all neat and stuff, and there was a lot of stuff that there was piles of. If you go back to my old YouTube videos, because every so often I look at it and I go, oh, look, here's, Marvel Spotlight 32, first Spider-Woman. Oh, there's 60 copies in this collection,
Wow.
And again,
Breaking news, we're going to have Alf rape issues for sale tomorrow. Oh, no, just kidding.
Again, it's all timing, and I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes with what I gave away and what he should have held, and hindsight's 20/20 and all that, but I'm like, it overall, it was fine. It's just fortunate buy that I got it when I got it,
Right. And I think fortune favors a bold, and, when they come in, and that's funny that, you take the chance, you're taking everything that you have and be like, all right, let's take a chance. And then it works out.
I knew that opportunity wasn't going to come around again. I disliked my job immensely. I was very miserable driving into work to the point of there were days when I was literally in tears going to work because I had to go to work, a job that was so shitty. And but So when I got this opportunity, I'm like, what are you going to do? Like, keep doing what you don't like or take a shot at something else?
Yeah.
Well, here's my take is it's not just out of luck everybody in the live chat who's been to Mike's shop, they can tell you it's the best shop in SoCal, hands down, because they have the most back issues and they have the lowest prices. I can tell you there's Southern California. I would say not so much now, but 5-6 years, there was a dearth of comic book shops everywhere. Right. Famously, there's a guy who got hit in the head with a brick who's got a giant warehouse where he tells you the price of the comics when you go up to the cash register and he looks on eBay for prices.
Yeah.
There's another one that was ran horribly by a guy and his son named Big Red. And you go in there and it was just a god awful store. And I went in there once and I never came back because his son had horrible customer service. You could tell Big Red I said that. But, you go to Mike. He's very helpful even now. Even though the quarantine, they're still assisting people. And, when I work from home, Mike got sick of seeing me because I was there every Wednesday just talking to him to the point where he couldn't do any work done. So, and then, he used to yell at me and I'd yell back and I'd come back and we're still lovers.
No, there you go. You still survive. You still survive. So, Mike, I have a question for you because it's funny because I've been in the restaurant business as my part-time job for many years, and everybody always says is why don't you just buy the restaurant or why don't you just buy a bar and stuff like that? Which I don't want to do because when you buy into something that's your hobby, you kind of lose that lackluster. But it doesn't seem like you've lost the lackluster for comics. Well, it seems like
there's a certain diminishment of it. It's a certain what I like to call the usual suspects. When you buy a collection from a certain era, like if I buy an 80s-ish collection, 80s through 90s, I expect to open a box and be like, all right, New Mutants 98, New Mutants 87, Spider-Man 300, X-Men 266. It's kind of like the run of, there's your base meat of that collection, The only thing that I'll tell you that I don't think people really think about in these statements about opening shops and doing things like that is the true amount of revenue it takes to operate on a monthly basis. It's pretty staggering. People, I think they can just roll on in and do this. And that's where I was more phobic. It wasn't like it literally can take 1 or 2 shipments of misordering to destroy a shop,
Okay.
The behind the scenes thing, most businesses, I think, profit about 6 to 8% of their gross. And sometimes, a month of operations costs could be like $80,000. So it's like, yes, you're going to see some profit, but you have to have $80,000 of income churn that 1 month.
Yeah, and that's
Mike.
Really
talk about. I don't mean to interrupt you, Otto, but there's a lot of great stories that I have. Just by secondhand, like going to one time I was in there on a Wednesday, and I was talking to Mike, and as I walk out the door. I open the door and in walks in Liefeld, Kirkman, and somebody else. And I go, is that Kirkman? Because I didn't care about Liefeld. I always saw Liefeld. And I was walking and Mike texted me. He goes, hey, man, Kirkman just came in. I go, gosh, damn it. And I was already in my car driving out, telling them stories like how Liefeld used to work at Comics TNT and who are some of the regulars that come into we're adjacent to, LA and Hollywood.
Yeah, honestly, some of these guys, to be honest, I don't even know when they come in because so when that same day that Tim's talking about, another employee turns to me and because I know Rob, right? He's recognizable to me. But when the other Robert Kirkman came in, he's like, and there was 4 guys, right? And he goes, that's Robert Kirkman. I go, well, I've got a 33% chance of guessing who you're talking about because I don't know who Robert Kirkman is or what who he looks like, right? I'm just not I don't get these.
The younger guy, the newer guys, that's really what it is, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw Starenko or Neil Adams walk through the door, and
Starenko
that's
for sure, he's very
Marv
unique.
Wolfman Marv Wolfman comes in there every now and then too.
Yeah, but I've got Jeff Matsua's shops there, but I have people come in all the time and they tell me about working in the industry and their names fit with the book that I remember, when you were drawing Cyber Frog or the Dan Fraga stuff. But I couldn't pick Dan Fraga out of a crowd of 2, so it's people come in there all the time and I try to just really give them their space. I know because when Rob does come in, people want autographs and stuff like that. And I'm I just try to let them shop as if customers would shop. And I know when we're talking about the pricing and stuff earlier, comparing other stores, I just 2 things I wanted to say. And one of them, I know I kind of preach, but it's my philosophy on selling comics is I want to have them priced as if I'm behind at the front of the register purchasing the comics. What would Mike Caden buy as a consumer, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I price everything. I got to tell you, Tim, I was watching I don't want to get into names, even the product that it was, but I watched a live auction or live sale yesterday for a few minutes, and they bring out a book, and they hadn't mentioned the price yet. They describe the book, they do their thing, and they say, and in my head, I'm all $5. That book's going to be $5. And they're like, $25. And I'm all, what the F?
This is on IG
okay.
Live, right?
Right. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. And they $25, and then they put the book on a letter, and the next thing in the little side column, claim on that letter, and I'm all, no, this didn't just happen, right? So I go and first of all, I go to the back of the store, and I'm all, okay, 33 copies of this book, and I'm all, no. And I go, what does this person know that I don't know on this book? So I go on eBay, and I'm all, what's going on with this book? $1.50, $4, $3.
Wow.
You know,
Oh my God.
an 8.5, $19 free shipping, and I'm all, what just happened here? But it doesn't make me want to go and list these books at $25. In my mind, it's still a $5 book, you know?
Right.
So,
Right.
But
and Ryan, Darkside Jedi could attest to this because he's gone to us with me and with Mike when Mike had a booth at WonderCon, and Mike typically has the best prices at WonderCon. And I also shout out Rocket Comics, who also has great prices when he does conventions, because a lot of times Mike and Rocket will share a booth. But there, I don't know how much you want to tell of this, but we won't name the actual names. But before the con even begins,
I know where we're going here.
And can I ask you about it? Okay. Okay. So I know what Mike has. And so I'll go up to him. I go, hey, do you still have them? He goes, dude, they were gone before the con doors even opened, because all the other booths, they buy off Mike and they'll mark up 30, 40, sometimes 50%.
Of course.
And they'll sell it their booths.
So I'll give you two stories on that. The first time I did WonderCon, before we were on the setup day, I sold 14K to the dealers. Okay,
right.
So that's more than I did in the rest of the show. But the dealers took all that stuff and then put it on their booths, right?
Yeah.
When I was doing a really small show called The Shrine, which is where I first started on this, I had a dealer, literally our booths were back to back. He comes around my booth and buys a Mad Love off of me for $10. Okay. And he walks back to his booth and puts it up at $100.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
But I mean, that's what I kind of was notorious for. But I'll tell you though, one time, one dealer who I was constantly selling product to and giving him good deals, and I was like, then I hit this point where I was like, you know what? I really want to get some of these books. I remember trying to convincing myself I wanted to buy some of the bigger keys. Right, and the first book I convinced myself to buy was the first Supergirl, but afterwards, I wanted a first Batgirl and a first Atom. So I go to one of these dealers and I say, hey, I want these 2 books. You know, the dealer who I've been very friendly with, who's bought much stuff off me at this is like when I was selling Spider-Man 300s for like $60, you know?
Oh, God.
And, you know, so I'd be like, how much for these 2 books? And I don't remember what they were exactly, but he goes, okay, I'll give you this deal. And he brings it down. And it was like, I think it was $210. I may be off. And I'm like, okay. And I go, why don't you just make it 200? Right. And I'm like, and the time it took him to decide that additional $10 was so much longer from the initial drop from like 275 to the 210. But then he says to me, he goes, all right, you win this time, but next time I get to win. And I'm all, no, you've won. Okay. This is the same, by the way, this is the same guy that bought the Moon Knight, which I swear to this day is a 9.8 off me for $6, haggling it down from 10. Okay.
Jeez.
But so I walked away, did the math. I'm all, that's 11% that you gave me. I'm all, your discount is now 11% from this point forward. I'm all,
moving forward. So we're going to talk about your live sale in a minute, because I think very important.
I want to give a shout out to Sydney Hale for the $2 super chat.
All right, for Heroes and Hitters.
Heroes and Hitters. I'm guessing that's our Heroes and Hitters.
Yeah, that's Heroes and Hitters. That's one of our LCSs here in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Shout out to Wayne and Eileen.
Sydney Hale personally?
I don't know Sydney. I probably saw them at the store, but shout out to them for watching. And Wayne and Eileen. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, Mike made me buy a giant box of porn from him at WonderCon before too.
I'm sure you sold that at a good price. I got a funny story.
There was some goodies in there. I had some Adam Hughes.
By the fact that it was not porn. It was comics. Okay, it was like
Penthouse Comics. It was Penthouse Comics. Yeah.
So when Mike was promoting the show, and it's kind of ingrained in the East Coast guys how good Mike's store is, and Justin, Dave, Roger, and myself. I mean, it's like we take the marrow out of the chicken bones in our LCSs, right?
Yeah.
So like that's how we are. But then all of a sudden, Bobby Swolverine and TiVo and all these guys are just finding all these books at your store. Justin calls me one morning and he goes, "Dude, I had a dream," and I'm like, "What?" And he
I was
goes,
on this text message.
yeah. He goes, "You're not going to believe this." Justin, you want to tell the rest of the story or?
Yeah, vaguely remember. So it was me, Otto, and Dave, and we flew out to California, and we
Weird dreams.
Yeah, weird dreams, man. I don't even know what I was eating or drinking the night before. So the three of us fly out to California, and we roll up to like some rest area, and we meet Tim there, and then Tim's gonna bring us to the Big To-Do shop.
Big To-Do. So we're not even like
it's like some quest where you're like the elf will bring you to the store.
Yes, exactly. He will lead us to the promised land. We have
more like a drug deal where I meet him in the alley and like, come follow me. I'm gonna get you on.
Well, yeah, because we're probably like lost in California, so we'll meet up with you, and then you'll take us to our next destination.
Exactly. Just like once we get there, we're like, "Aha, I've arrived." Here we are. So, Cindy Hale said about a week ago.
Why don't you ask Mike? Mike, how many years in a row have you been to Hall H?
Ooh.
Since I wanted to.
You mother.
So I want to put this on record that I am helping Mike do his sale, but he promised to take me to Hall H next year, just so everybody knows, right, that we've got this on wax now.
That's perfect because next year there probably won't be a Hall H.
So yeah, let's talk about the live show that's coming up tomorrow on your channel, Lords of the Long Box. It's at 2:00 Pacific time, and then it's 5:00 our time here on the East Coast. So if you guys saw it last week, really good. It's not an auction. Speaking of auctions, Lords will have a auction next week, but this is a live claim sale, guys. So basically, what they do is they put up. Mike, how many lots are you doing this week? About 20, maybe.
We're gonna do 20 lots. I was doing a little more behind the scenes work because with the last week when we did it was our first attempt at it, and I think it actually went pretty well. It seemed like we moved through a lot of stuff and people were happy getting it, and that's really my goal more than anything else on this. But we're going to do 20 lots and that's it. It's five per lot. Some of the things will have multiple chances, like some books we have 3 or 4 of, things like that.
And then what other deals do you have? You're going to have mystery reader boxes, trade mystery boxes as well, kind of.
Yeah, so one thing that we're carrying over, and I'm not sure when I'm going to stop it because it seems to be really well received, is we've been doing $30 for 5 random graphic novels, and people pick the genre. We have people call us up and say they want horror or crime noir or things like that, and it's up to our discretion. We really do try to not just find like fluff and give it to you. We're trying to find something that would be an enjoyable read or a sequential read, not throw you in the middle of like, here's issue 7 of some graphic novel, But so there's that, and there's also for the same $30 you can get 25 random issues, and in that, instead of picking the genre, which you could do, people have been picking characters, and I've had people name Moon Knight and Spider-Man and Daredevil and Vampirella. And it does get a little tough. Like I had one guy, asked for magic, and I'm like, well, okay, here's what she's in. I found some New Mutants and things like that. The guy that wanted Moon Knight, I only have so many Moon Knights I want to give away for $1. So I'm like, here's what I can do. But then I'm like, he's in Secret Avengers. Here's a run of Secret Avengers, or he's in West Coast Avengers. So try to very much cater to what they're asking.
Also, I don't know if you could do a screenshot or not, Justin, but for those, it's very important that when you refresh your browser to ensure that your chat says live chat. It does not say top chat. So we had some people who were claiming they thought they won because if you have top chat enabled, your name will always appear first. So you need to make sure live chat is enabled, and then you'll see it.
If you look at mine right now, it says top chat. Can you see it? It says live chat, and then it says top chat.
Yep.
Put Roger full screen so you can.
Let me see. I got it right there.
I got it.
There you go. Yeah.
So
top chat.
Top chat. Now I'm going to change that.
And you have to click the 3 lines.
Click the 3 lines, and now it says
live chat.
There you go.
Live chat.
Yeah, so there was some issues at the very beginning where some people felt they weren't getting it in. So that's why I type in live, since there's no delay on that. And this time also, the moderators will not be able to claim since they're, so just in case some people think moderators can type claim faster than regular people can, they can't. So maybe I'll talk to Mike about this. And if there's claims where there's like 10, then maybe we'll allow moderators to put a claim in. But if it's just like A, B, C, D, and there's one book each, then moderators will help us clean everything out. And then, yeah,
there's definitely some housekeeping stuff I thought of behind the scenes and some stuff we can offer it as the end. Even like, and I don't know if anyone joined us for the first time, we're doing these all little side deals, right? We had like a bunch of Spider-Man 1s and a bunch of Bishops.
Right.
I think that got a little confusing. I have a few things I want to offer up that'll be available, and I think the best way to do them is go, look, this isn't going to run out. Here's the stuff we got. If you want it, when you're sending us your information later, just say you also want that, and then it doesn't clog up the feed,
Yeah, it's going to be much better this time around. We're going to write down everybody's emails immediately because some of the so I wasn't writing down the names. I was giving it to poor Jacob, and phonetically, some of you guys don't have normal names. Like there's a Christopher Briggs, there's a Sidney Hale, but then there was a bunch of weird names where I was like, man, they didn't come quite over. So we're gonna have the moderators delete all the duplicate bids, leave it up there, write everybody's name down, have everybody put in their email the first time so we don't get any confusion. Did everybody claim, Mike, all the lots from last week?
We have like 4 outstanding things, and they're all $5 items. I figured when we start on tomorrow, we can show those 4 items and go, look, these ones weren't claimed. If you were the recipient of this, we still have them. You need to reach out to us. And then if not, we'll just throw them into the next rotation.
We'll just give them to the moderators. There you go.
That's fine too.
Hey, there we go.
They deserve it after last week. That's for sure.
I'm going to tell you,
my
man,
God.
it was crazy. I don't know how people do it on IG Live because on YouTube, at least you have a much longer trail of comments to where you can kind of moderate it better. But I think this time around will be much better.
Do you think that people were getting the same kind of, like, the amount of people slamming them as fast? I think our pricing was good, so it moved much faster.
I've yet to see an IG sale that had 150 people watching it. The most I've seen is like Torpedo with like 48 or 50. I mean, we had like easily a 150, and it was overwhelming. I mean, we needed every moderator in there, to be honest with you. So,
right. Oh, yeah. Tim, you definitely had to lay down the law when you're like, I just want to say, Tim had to lay down the law when he's like, I'm not hitting go until everybody stops, because everybody just stops. Just like, it's like that kid who's like crossing the line before you say go in a race. You know what I mean? Like, your foot stays on the other side of the line. You can't go yet,
We'll give a shout out to Matt Forge Comics for the $10 check.
$10, Matty Forge.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Appreciate it, brother.
Nice.
Well, so getting back to what Tivo said, I mean, we had so many people on that show. I mean, and you posted it on your Instagram story. Hella Comics was out running with his wife, and he was watching it, like running.
Shout out to Hella Comics, man.
That's like so crazy.
I'll tell you the story. Hella Comics friend of the channel he's from the Bay Area. So he's out jogging with his wife, but he's watching and trying to claim while she's jogging. And she goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, I'm watching Comics TNT and Lord. She goes, "Stop watching him, damn it."
Yeah.
So I'm happy to say that we're causing relationship issues right now in quarantine. So
that's right. Over comics. There you go, Mike. Awesome. So it's been phenomenal. These have been great stories. It's just been really good to hear. We talked about like having Mike on for 30 minutes, but we've almost gone a whole hour. So
that's awesome, man.
In the panel between Roger, Dave, Justin, you guys have any questions for Mike? I mean, while he's here, we got him.
No, I mean, Mike, I definitely am excited to sometime after quarantine. I'd love to come out to California and visit your shop. Just seeing videos of the store itself. I'd love to get through there. Just going through long boxes, digging. And just personally for myself, from when you had your little sale of the Green Lantern book, and just giving you a list. I mean, how fast you did everything. You sent me photos through Instagram, DM Messenger, whatever you had, I gave you a list of probably like 30 books. You came up with like 15 of them because you had them in stock, and I thank you very much. And prices were great. Conditions were great, and it was fast service. So I have no complaints.
I do want to say, anyone out there, if they ever have an issue, it's like, I mean, I'm human, stuff gets missed, whatever, just reach out to me. I want you guys to be happy with what you get.
You are a robot.
It's awesome.
So
No, I'm
Chad
good.
Crow,
I
real quick. Chad
appreciate-
Crow says, "How do we put in requests for Mike?" So Chad Crow, if you are on Instagram, he is under TNT or the Big To Do. Do you have Facebook? Does the store have a Facebook as well?
It does have a Facebook under Comics, Toons, and Toys.
Okay, so yeah, those are different ways that you can reach out to Mike.
I'll
with
hit the Facebook page into the live chat.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. No, that's been awesome. So, like I said, we asked Mike to stay for a half hour. He stayed a lot longer. So we've got a lot of other things planned tonight, you guys. So, Mike, at this point, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the show. But if not, have a great time with your family, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna watch for a little bit. And then my sister-in-law's in town, so I'm gonna go hang out there. But I want to see what else you guys got. So
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. All right.
if you don't mind me being in the center square, I'll hang out.
Not at all.
Is
Not
that
at all. Thanks a lot.
is that the hot sister, Mike?
And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. That's for sure.
Can't wait. So at this point, we're gonna take a little 2-minute break. Justin's got a word from our sponsor, Rocket Comics, and then we'll get started again. So let's see what we got from Rocket Comics.
Yep, yep. Silky smooth from Rocket
that was
Comics.
slow erotic, man.
You like that, don't you? So, so Tim, do you want to start with your books that you want to show off, or so we're pretty much going to do? We have tons of mail calls this month. Being quarantined, a lot of people have been buying comics, not new comics. So we've all been buying stuff off eBay, Instagram, auctions, everything.
You know what? I will, because some of these will be for auction on May 1st on Lords of the Long Box.
Oh, that's perfect. So let's put you on the big screen and let's see what we have from our man TiVo.
Okay. I will not look at these grades. I have 6 books.
And these are all from C2E2, right?
These are from C2E2 and from North Texas Comic Con from my man Rocket Comics. First up, I don't know how the hell you guys do this, man. Lock and Key
Is that
number
from
1.
C2E2?
Yeah, this is from C2E2. Lock and
I
Key
stood
number
in line
1.
for that for you. That was
Thank
me.
you. Signed by the writer Joe Hill, and this is the first print, and it is a
Nice.
This will be up for auction at May 1st.
Wow.
Next up is, I forgot about this one. This one's signed too. This is the first appearance of Peggy Carter as the female Captain America or Captain Britain, whatever you want. Signed by Mike McConey. This is the game edition variant.
It's a great book.
Oh,
9.6.
9.6. This will be for sale. You know what? I'm going to hold on to this too.
I'd hold on to that too. I love Peggy Carter. I thought Peggy Carter, that was a great show.
Yeah. Oh, you guys know I've been hard specking on this. This is
That was in
signed
Texas.
Yeah, this is North Texas Comic Con, signed by Miko Siwan. This is the first appearance of Wave and a bunch of other cool people. This one will not be for auction.
Boom!
He was very excited to see that, actually.
Mike, you handled that? You were the handler on that?
Yeah, Scott facilitated and I witnessed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
okay.
that.
Number 2.
Another one, Ages
Oh,
of
for
Atlas.
God's
This is
sakes.
the Miko Siwan variant, signed by Miko Siwan at North Texas Comic Con. Probably handled. Yeah, Mike handled this book. I could smell it on him. And it is what? I don't get a karate chop.
Jesus Christ, you got
Wow.
2 karate chops. Look at that. 2.
Apparently handled it well.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the
Well, that's the one he was
Virgin variant.
amazed by.
This
Yeah, yeah.
one is the one that's hard to find. This is the Virgin variant. This is the first printing, also signed by him.
Stop it.
Skadoosh!
Shut up. 3 in a row.
Wow, what a run we got going here.
We got a
Jeez.
run going tonight,
And the
boys.
last one, this
why I
is
don't
the
submit
other
anything
one.
anymore.
So you can tell there's only 3 different books, 2 of this, 3 of the Wave, and this is also signed. This is the first appearance, and this is a
Ooh.
Very
it's
linear.
hard.
Yeah,
that's
that thing had
okay.
a lot of color.
That
up
is
there,
very
remember.
linear.
That's it, boys, girls. But
Linear
I'm
the wrong
happy
way.
with the book. and the lock and key and will be up for sale on the Lord's auction. I also have a run of Paper Girls 1 through 5 first printing that I'll probably put up on the auction. So stay tuned to the Lord's and Long Box. We're going to be all of our individual social medias as well as on our YouTube channel. We'll show the books that'll be up for auction on May 1st.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So Justin, do we want to do our 1,250 subscriber giveaway?
Yes, we can. We can definitely do that. So let's get right into some screen sharing.
Yep.
Throw that on here. And look at Otto's face.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that. That's a good looking dude.
I had to pause at the right time.
You never looked like your dad more.
I expect you to die.
I don't look like my dad.
Ever. Never looked like your dad more than you do in that picture, man.
We got a lot of comments
He was a
here.
good looking guy.
Let's head over to our.
All right. So this is for the 5th place winner, right?
Yes.
And they will be receiving Thanos Rising.
MIB. So let's see how many people we got. We have a total of 83 people.
Nice.
So let's start this randomizer. This is for the 5th place.
Yep.
Coming in.
Hey,
Drew Manchu from the Comic Core.
Okay.
Ever, you write that down, bud?
Yeah, I got it. That's your job, but I'll do it today.
Yeah.
I'll send Drew Manchu a message on
Under
All
the
right. Nice.
Yeah,
So
I
he
have
gets
been
some Naughty Young.
on Facebook.
All right. So our 4th place, let's pick another winner.
Yep. It's
What's
the
fourth place,
Batgirl,
Kevin?
Adam Hughes.
Ooh.
AA Comics.
Oh, AA Comics. All right.
He's in the chat. Good
Yes,
stuff.
he is.
Congratulations.
All right. So good old AA. And make sure you guys sub him up, as well as Drew Manchu from the Comic Core.
All right. Web of Spider-Man double signed by Jim Shooter and Luis Simonson.
All
Nice
right.
book. Nice book.
Nice book.
Luis.
Luis. Yes, Luis.
Coming in at number 3, Brick Hunter.
Brick Hunter. Okay. Nice.
Congrats on 1,250 subs. By the way, love the outtakes. Everybody's loving your outtakes on that.
Yeah, my God. I wait till you see the new one I did for the Raw
I told
book.
you about 1% of them.
Yeah.
All right. And
right,
what's
so-
second place prize?
Second place is the huge Michael Jordan Funko Pop from the Geeky Swag Shop. Okay, so Geeky Swag Shop donated that to us.
Shout out to
and
Swag Shop.
Definitely a shout out to Geeky Swag Shop. So he donated the huge Michael Jordan Funko Pop, which is really cool, actually.
All right.
And
so-
perfect timing right now since the documentary is getting huge ratings. Man.
That's because there's nothing else to watch.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's all
Roger,
they've been
though.
talking about. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Roger. Though I'm not a basketball guy, and I've been watching it, dude. It's so good. It's
Is it really?
so good.
I know. I'm enjoying it too.
All right. So second place for the Michael Jordan Funko Pop.
Here we go.
Jeremy Sexton.
Jeremy Sexton. All right, cool.
Yeah, just found out about this channel. Looking forward to more vids. Congratulations, Jeremy Sexton.
Okay.
And Otto, what do you have for the first prize winner?
First,
Please.
Batman 52 Week 11, signed by Mark Waid. The first appearance of who?
Batwoman.
Yes.
Kate Kane.
It's not Cassandra Cain.
Not Cassandra Cain. Kate Kane, first full appearance of her as Batwoman. And I will also throw in a variant grab bag giveaway as well for our first place winner. So he'll get that person will get 2 prizes. And who's that going to be?
There we go.
Let's see some people. Double J.
Double J. All right. Good names.
Double
Super
J.
frustrated on some of those outtakes. That first one you looked
Double J E double F.
So Double J winning 2 prizes. Going to get the Batwoman from Otto and a grab bag variant giveaway from me.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Awesome.
There it is.
All right.
So, cool.
All right. So just so you guys know, I'm going to try to do the 1,500 subscriber giveaway this weekend. And at this point, thanks to a lot of great people in the community, I'm going to give them all shout outs. I want to give a shout out to Rocket Comics. I want to give a shout out to Jada Butcher. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Wonkers. They have all donated lots of stuff. So
Jesus Ortiz from work gave us the
yes,
Aquaman and the Joker Funko Pop.
right. So we've got 2 Funko Pops. We've got 2 slabs. One is a 9.8 for Mr. Wonkers. Another one's a 9.4 Spider-Man. We've got 5 books from Rocket Comics. So excuse me. So for our 1,500 subscriber giveaway, we'll be giving away almost 10 items, and you'll watch that in our next video. So that's been really, really cool. So
Stuff.
all right,
hit me up next time too, and I'll send you some stuff.
Hey,
awesome, Mike. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. That's fantastic. Yeah,
Still time.
yeah. There's a lot. We'll see. We'll
That's
get
not
it
going
going
to make
though.
it to
But
you by
no,
this weekend. You know?
yeah,
No. He makes the video this weekend that people have to comment on.
right.
Oh, okay,
Once
okay.
we hit 1,500, we do the giveaway.
We'll do
Yeah,
the
he'll be
giveaway.
buying
Right.
some stuff tomorrow anyway. I'll pack it with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you know,
Uh,
what does Tim like to say? The plebeians, the seraphs, you know. So
The troglodytes.
the troglodyte. So listen, guys, we have been going for an hour. So, but we have also been preluding this to talk about books that we've been getting in the mail, right?
Yeah.
We've got
Mhm.
wives mad at us. We've got mailmen that are hiding it in the back areas. We've got,
We got brothers that are taking it for us.
yeah, we've got brothers on secret missions that don't want the books to come there. So
start
we've
having-
got lots and lots of books to show you and lots of mail calls. So I'll go up with you guys. You guys figure it out. I'll go, towards the end because I only have two things. So whoever wants to go first in the panel, who wants
I'm
to
going to
start?
kick it off because I've been.
Yeah, get in there,
I
Raj.
I got a lot of books here.
Yeah.
So this first few books I got at the auction. I'll tell you what, with no sports to watch, these auctions are killing me because
Because you're watching auctions.
that's all we're doing is watching auctions. So this was from the Thorough's auction on YouTube last weekend. I mean, I got Freedom Fighters. I didn't really buy it for that.
Throw-ins, right?
Gem and the holograms. Everett, that's right up your alley.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah. Howard the Duck, number 3.
All right.
This was all one lot. Howard the Duck. Yeah. I'm getting used to the camera backwards. But I really bought the lot because I wanted these. These are pretty cool. It's a Howard the Duck magazine.
Nice.
Okay, it's Dracula. I mean, how can you not love that?
Matt Forge gets it.
Yeah. These two magazines were pretty cool. I saw them, and the problem is books like this that are pretty cool and kind of have like a little nostalgia to people like me meant nothing to anybody else because nobody was bidding.
Mm-hmm.
So
for you.
yeah, how can you pass it up when nobody's bidding? So this next one, I'm going to tell you, this was a huge lot. Probably, probably about 20 to 24, 20 books maybe, and I paid $28 for the lot.
Did you really?
Yeah. Deathstroke 32.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, that's a Matina, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Deathstroke 34.
And that's a Matina.
Yeah.
Those are dope.
A lot of Matinas. Deathstroke 35.
Oh my God, I've never seen that.
Crazy.
Beautiful covers. He's just showing them over and over, and nobody's bidding on these things. I'm like, I'm going to be crazy to not.
Does Matina do all the
So
A
this is-
covers now, or was he just doing the B covers?
They were the B covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Detective Comics 980.
That's
Wow.
sick.
This is pretty cool. Detective Comics 984.
Oh my God.
This is all one lot.
Hmm.
Detective Comics 985.
That one's dope. That
All the bats in there is freaking cool.
one's Mark Brooks, I think.
Detective Comics 966.
Oh, never seen
Yeah,
that before. That's
Pretty
cool.
It's like how to build the Batmobile.
Hmm.
I'd love that, the Batmobile.
987 Detective Comics.
That one's nice too.
Nice.
Yeah, Mark Brooks. Killing it.
Seriously.
Hopefully he'll be at Terrificon if Terrificon happens.
992 Detective Comics.
Nice.
I mean, look at these covers. Like less than $30 I got all these books for. Detective Comics 998.
That one's really
Yeah.
nice.
Detective Comics 1002.
Look at that. Dope.
How to
I like
build,
that one.
how to build the
Armored Batman.
but
Yeah, yeah.
wait, there's more. From that same lot.
Damn, dude.
Right. Batman 46.
Hmm.
Nice.
Batman 49. Love me some Catwoman.
Ooh, art turn.
Yeah, nice. That's our turn, right?
Yep.
Batman 54. I love all the villains on the top of this thing.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And Mr. Freeze right in the middle there. I mean Bane right in the middle there. 55, Batman 55. That's a Matina cover.
That's
Right?
Matina right there. Yep.
Yep.
All the way. Batman 65.
Nice.
I've never seen that. That's really cool.
Batman 66. Punching Two-Face. Batman 69. I believe that's another Matina, right?
That's Matina too. Yeah.
Sounds dope.
And Catwoman number 1.
Art turn. Boom.
That's our turn, right? Yeah.
Yep.
When I tell you, I got all these books on
That's
Thoreau's
insane.
auction for $28.
Wow.
Crazy, man.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So then IDW was having a sale, right? Because it's not enough that there's auctions and all that. IDW has to step in and say, buy 2, 1, get 1 free. So I bought Lock and Key number 1.
Nice.
This is all these 3 books I got are WonderCon exclusives. Obviously, it got canceled, so they offered them up. This is Gabriel Rodriguez cover.
You know, I just started watching the series last night.
Oh,
So
I
You have to
have
watch
Dude,
it.
so good.
Judge Dredd False Witness.
Nice.
Love it.
Cool cover. That's a Kizama. I don't recognize the name. And then Transformers vs. Terminator. And this
Oh, I
is
love it.
longtime friend of the show, Livio Ramondelli.
Oh, I never even seen that. Livio did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Livio
man.
did that. Yeah.
Ooh, that is dope.
Beautiful, right? All right. So I got a new office at work, and I decided that one of the walls in my office was going to be comic books. So I decided that I was going to take all my favorite characters and get reprints of those books. So the only thing I'm disappointed with is a couple of them didn't actually have real reprints. So they have these Millennium things where the book is in there. So Flash Comics number 1. It's not a real reprint, you know, but it's still going to look good there. Fun Comics reprint.
That's cool.
First appearance of Aquaman.
That's
Yep.
This is another one that wasn't an actual reprint, but first appearance of Wonder Woman.
Oh, look at that. There you go.
What is up with that crazy ass bag, man?
This one?
On the more fun.
Yeah.
Like supersized bag.
Because, no, it's a come on.
Magazine size?
No. It's
No, it's sealed like it. You
Yeah,
bought it like
sealed.
that, like it came with it, right?
It came like this. It's a Loot Crate exclusive. The
Ah,
Loot Crate had a bunch of this one's that way. There's a couple other ones that are that way. It came in the Loot Crate, so when I bought it, they kept it sealed and everything.
You need a
That
frame
one's
from
also
that
first
nasty
Green
ass
Arrow.
bag.
Yes, that's right. It's also the first Green Arrow. This is another one. It's a Loot Crate.
Ooh, one of my favorite books right there.
Justice League. Funny story. I talked about this at one of our shows that in this story, Batman and Superman actually bail on the Justice League.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
that's
this
really
this
nice.
book is not cheap. I found out that even though it's a
What's the
reprint,
significance?
that's yeah,
Yeah, it's
first
just
Batman.
a book.
For that, I figured everybody watching would know, but that's the first Batman. And of course,
Yeah.
Grail.
Oh, look at that.
This is
Yeah,
the
look at that.
Grail. This is the Grail.
Nice.
First appearance of the VW bug.
Yes,
Yeah.
and a little man known as Superman.
Soups.
All right. So, for those of you who don't think that algorithms are real, I searched Google for comics, and then as I got my new office, I decided that I wanted one wall to be, I wanted to have pictures that looked like art, but I wanted it to be like hip hop themed. So, like I saw some pictures, there was an abstract painting of Biggie. So, people who know. People who don't know just think it's art. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. If you know who Biggie is, you would know that it was a painting of Biggie. If you didn't, you would just think it was some guy in a painting. All of a sudden, I'm searching and I'm on social media, and up pops an advertisement for these comic books here. They're called Hip Hop Family Tree.
Oh, I got those. Yep, I love
Yeah,
them.
they do X-Men Grand Design and FF Grand Design.
What's his name? Pinsner. I can never say his name. He ended up drawing
Ed Pisker, Ed Pisker was the one who drew these,
But these are great reads because it's funny how he actually tells the story of hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
At one point, I was looking for them all. They also come in a giant treasury size edition as well.
But wait, I haven't gotten there yet.
No.
So I bought,
This is all
there's
from the
more.
algorithm, Roger. The algorithm is just popping up.
yeah, so I went on eBay and I found some guy was selling 1 through 6. So
Cool heart.
I bought 1, 2.
That's cool.
That's cool. Roger, no wonder you got yelled at this week. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Oh,
3.
look at that.
Oh, that's
that's
really
cool.
good.
I'll take one of those.
That's
That is
really cool.
dope.
And Roger, open it up and smell it. It's actually it's printed on real paper.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
paper.
That's
'Cause
cool.
I just got them, and this one's
Fit. I dare you.
5.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And he
That's
had 1
funny.
through 5, and then I realized what number 6 was, and I said I could not buy number 6 with LL Cool J on the cover.
Nice.
So the cool thing as part of this bunch that I got was there was a free comic book day version, which is this one. It's got all the people, and if you open it up on the front cover, it actually has a chart to tell you which person is what rapper. So I actually I started reading this one, obviously, and this one, as most free comic book days, they kind of do a quick overview of what you're going to expect in the series. I mean, and this thing is so cool. It starts off with talking about Dr. Dre, as a kid working at the with Lonzo Williams or the World Class Wrecking Crew, and being able to get into a bar that's open till 5 a.m. before he's even allowed to be in there, and how him and DJ Yella actually helped the Lonzo keep his business going when people were looking for something different. So and it goes from there, and it talks about, in this one book, it talks about Russell Simmons and how he met Rick Rubin, how Rick Rubin and him started Def Jam. Rick Rubin was producing out of his college dorm at NYU, and when he made his first single with T-Lay Rock, It's Yours, people just thought he was a big time producer. So LL Cool J actually sought him out as a kid. And his first couple big signs were LL Cool J, Run DMC. I mean, they have the Beastie Boys in there. They were at a party, and they were talking about how he actually introduced Beastie Boys to Brass Monkey. And it's just really neat. This one issue. So I can't wait to get in the other ones where they're more specific about each individual rapper and the artist and where they fit into the hip-hop culture.
That's awesome.
And I did find this.
Hey, look at
was the original.
that.
This kicked it off in the 2012 or something like that. It came out. They came out with a book. 2 of them I bought. They ended up coming up with a gift set afterwards.
Your PayPal must have been on fire.
This right here is supposed to be Dr. Dre. That's how they depict him in the comic books. So this
World Class Wrecking Crew when he was
World Class Wrecking Crew, right? They were cheesy as hell.
There you go, Raj.
So
You want to chime in on this one?
What's that?
No, he's got his
Premiere all
opinion
day
on this.
long.
Listen to me. Here's the problem. They didn't paddle. They spent 2 hours playing hooks from songs that they produced and that were on records. If they actually got on the turntables and had to create and do things on demand, Premiere would have smoked them.
He would have.
Premiere would have absolutely smoked them. Okay.
Nice.
And he showed it. He was mixing some stuff in RZA. He had some good stuff, but it was all Wu-Tang, and it was all stuff that he had on
Premier
albums.
still
So-
actually DJs. RZA is strictly a producer.
So this is what the books look like. They're full size, and they, like he said, you
paper
could
too, right?
smell,
Ah,
but it's
smells
with the
good.
paper's printed on.
Nice.
And it's so cool. And each one of these books, this one takes care of 1970s to 1981, and this one goes from 1981 to 1983. These are the only
That is
2 I've
awesome.
bought. And this is going to tell the story from the early days of Kool Herc having parties in his, being the guy who introduced dual turntables in his apartment complex, 1520 Sedgwick in the Bronx.
Cedric Ave.
Yeah, with Coke Rock, the first MC ever, who would just tell people, it'd be like a D, like the Wolfman, like, hey, you gals and girls, get up on the dance floor. Like he'd be on the mic while Cool Herc.
I like that one. Let me see that one. The gold. Ooh,
so this thing came in the middle of it, and it's a freaking Liefeld.
I have not seen that one yet. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Wait a minute, Liefeld did that?
This is in the back. This was in this set, and it's actually like a mini book, and this is what they make Liefeld look like. Because at the end of Zero, there's a story where somebody is starting to interview Rob Liefeld, and they show, and in the story, he's starting to draw Cable and Deadpool, and like it's really kind of cheesy.
For those who don't know, Rob Liefeld was so famous at one point in the 90s. He famously posed with the picture of him and Eazy-E at the height of NWA's career. Was a young, like 19, 20-year-old Rob Liefeld.
This guy right here is Rob Liefeld. I don't know why he looks like Sideshow Bob. But I have not read this yet because this thing fell out of when I was setting up for the show tonight. It fell out of this other binder with these two big books. So
that's wild.
The issue 0 that I read was like a beginning interview with Liefeld, and they started talking about how he created characters, and he looked like that with the red hair, like Sideshow Bob, and couldn't have been the strangest thing to find at the end of a hip hop comic.
I'm gonna need to get that now. How much was it? Can you tell? Was it a auction or fixed price?
No, I bought this fixed price for. Shit, I don't remember. Dude, I bought so much the last week.
So was this the collected versions that came out after the single treasury editions?
No, this came out before the series came out. These two books here that are together in this one thing. So they printed these two books, and then like 6 months later they put them both in this binder and sold them together.
Wow! And then after the popularity of that, he got the X-Men gig.
Yeah. So it's this thing is phenomenal. I can't wait to get into it and start reading it. It's basically a book. It's more of it's drawn like a comic, but it completely tells the story of the beginning of hip hop, and it's really cool.
Did you read the stories he wrote about in there about Russell Simmons and how he and in the actual dialogue he gives them a lisp? It's fucking hilarious, man.
Yes. This hero, it's hard to read. It's like Kripke from Big Bang Theory. That's how they write the way Russell Simmons is talking. And at first you think it's a typo, but no, they actually write the lisp in. That was in the 0, the free comic book day one. Like I said, they did
I guess there's a sequel to that slipcase that has 83 through 85. That slipcase has 75 through 83. SRP on the one you have is 60, and the next one is $50.
All right, so I believe I paid just over 50 for this one.
All right.
Nice.
And I didn't realize that the other one existed because it didn't pop up on eBay until
83 through 85.
Yeah.
Does Diamond still have them, Mike? Can you order them?
They show up as like low stock at Diamond, but technically I can't order anything from Diamond right now. So
yeah, right. Jeez.
I feel like I just got a history lesson.
Gracefully, and I got to go get dinner with the fam. So
all right.
I just thank you guys. Thanks again for having me on. I'll see you tomorrow, Tim, and I'll get you some stuff to promote your 1,500 subscribers.
Thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate you hanging out with us even after.
Thank you for tolerating me, guys. I'll talk to you all soon.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.
Good. Thank you.
Nice. I feel like I just got a history lesson from Roger on hip hop.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I get a lot of information in here. It comes out sometimes. I have one more book and I can't find a damn thing.
Jesus Christ.
Are you kidding me right now? What the hell?
The curse of Roger lives on.
Yeah, somewhere.
Crazy.
What the hell? So yeah, guys, follow me on Instagram at Roger Levesque. I'm gonna find it because it was probably the biggest purchase I made all week.
Oh Christ!
I was gonna say, man, things are going way too smoothly for Roger. I was like, this is awesome. I'm a good luck charm.
Yeah. So we got Roger in his books. How about Justin and Dave? Who wants to go out of you guys?
I'll go first. I'll follow that because that was
all right.
that was tough.
And I'll end with greatness.
There you go.
Yeah.
End with greatness. All right, yeah. So I'll start with this bad boy. I got this from Chat RCG. So Amazing Spider-Man number 10, 9.8. This is beautiful.
Was that a straight up buy or was that an auction win?
Auction win.
Okay, nice.
So happy to have that. And let's see what else. So now I have the 1 in 100 virgin variant. Now I have to,
high ratio variant. We
Yes,
love those
sir.
here, right?
Man, I know I said this last week and the week before, but man, eBay is ripe for the picking. So, oh boy. So yes, 1 in 100, and then because I don't have enough of them, another 1 in 100. Amazing Spider-Man 568 second print. I think this is.
Who did that, Dave?
Ramita.
Oh, that is sick. I should have known.
Ramita
that. I
Jr.
apologize.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I should have known that.
That almost looks like it's a sketch cover, like he drew it. Is that? Looks like
Yeah,
a
there's
sketch.
There's 3 versions of it. There's the full color, and then there's the color where he just has his chest colored in, and then this one. So this is the 1 in 100.
I
So
like
crazy.
that.
Oh,
That
of
was
course.
That's nice.
That is
And
nice.
then if you watch Thorough's auction last weekend,
Oh boy, you got there we go. Look at that.
ooh, hello.
Ooh.
So that is that. Definitely going to send this off to get the works done on it. Let's see where it comes in at. I think it's like a 657. So let's see where it comes in.
Now listen, you knew about that book though, Dave, right? You went in guns blazing, right? You had
Yeah.
your idea, you had it.
Well, and I mean, I had the equity. I had the 3.5 in my pocket. So I
Yep.
knew I had that in my mind where that wasn't going to come out of pocket because I knew I was going to move it quick. So it's good stuff. So that's the the pulls of the week. How about a CGC unboxing?
I
What do
can't
we
believe
think?
it. This is the size of my youngest kid. Your kids must be able to fit inside that box. That's how big that was.
So let's hop in. Let's see what we got here. I
All
think
right,
it's
here we go.
like,
Live unboxing, folks.
Live
We're in the
unboxings,
basement.
man.
six or 7 books. I don't even remember at this point. So
Oh
let's
Christ.
see. All right, so we're going to start off with an Amazing Spider-Man number 1.
Oh, this book. I covet this book.
Yes, you do. So it is a 1 in 100 Ramita variant. So we're going to look at it together.
Wow.
I thought it.
cool.
I thought it was pretty high grade. Let's see where it comes in at.
I know.
ooh, what the fuck is that?
What's
I
up with
know.
that?
Damn.
Sorry for the F-bomb there, but what?
Yeah, look at that.
Time for me to start submitting if you're getting that.
Yeah, oh my God. We're going to get the notes on that one. But
Yeah.
not a good start. All right.
And that's typically from you know who's chuckling right now. Like I don't want to say it like this. Short box Bernie, aka Pat, is like, oh, you can't get them all the time, buddy.
All right, so Amazing Spider-Man 101. This is actually first appearance of Morbius. This is actually the second print, so it's the silver background.
Yep.
So let's see what we got. Ooh,
9.4. There, that's
9.4. Very nice.
I like that cover though.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Up next, we have. All right.
Oh
let's
boy,
see.
Justin! I'm surprised Justin doesn't own this.
Baby.
Claim.
Nova 1. All right, so there's backstory on this. So CBCS 9.0 popped, pressed, resubmitted. Let's see how he did. Not wrong hand. Oh,
I
there we
too.
go.
All right.
All right, respectable. I'll take it. All right, up next, let's start. Let's grab this one. All right. Amazing Spider-Man 316.
First Venom cover. Yeah.
First Venom cover. Actually got this on Strictly Comics auction. This was really, really high grade. I'd be surprised if it was lower than a 9.4. So let's see what we got.
Another hit there.
Oh,
9.8.
9.8. Wow.
If I may give a plug to KRS Comics, they got a Philip Tan Spider-Man variant coming up that is homage to this cover.
Yeah.
So stay
Kindred on the
tuned.
cover. That thing
Yeah,
is
it's
beautiful.
It is dope. Go to KRS Comics on IG. They're promoting it. So, as soon as they announce it, it sells out within 2 minutes.
Yep. All right. Last book, guys. Last book. So we got Amazing Spider-Man 252. First black suit.
Now, where'd this come from, Dave? What's the story behind this?
I have no idea. This is my third.
Oh,
copy.
Jesus Christmas.
So this was the highest grade out of the bunch, or at least in my opinion, it looked the cleanest. So let's see where we're coming in at. 9.2. All right. All right.
Surprisingly
Okay.
hard to find in a 9.8, man. This book has eluded me in a 9.8 for
I
some
need it
reason.
in a
I don't even
9.8,
know
yeah.
why.
It's tough to get for sure, but all right. I mean, aside from the one book, which I have no idea why it's a 9.0, which we're gonna find out.
Right. Now, Dave, how long ago did you submit those books?
Oh man.
Was that Baltimore?
No, this was just
they're moderns.
Yeah, these are moderns.
modern,
I submitted
okay.
them a month ago, and
Nice. There you go.
I just put in a another submission. I believe it was 10 books. I put that in today, so that should be here.
I'm rounding up some books. Roger's going to give me some
Ever,
books.
I found the other book. It was mixed in with the Batman's. Can I show it?
Oh, jeez. Of course. Of course. Of
I
course.
bought this from Speed Force Comics on Instagram.
Oh, we love that book.
Oh, look at
Ah.
that.
Is that a spec
Other-
book, Tim? Or is that
other
one of our
than-
spec
That
books?
is one of the rapiest covers ever.
There's a little crease down here, but there's no color break. So I'm hoping Rocket can take that out, and I'm going to submit it.
Yeah, there you go. Why not? Great book. Great book.
Nice.
Awesome stuff.
Well done.
So
I'm
Justin
gonna get
has
the
been
horse.
creeping into court. You guys, no, I just want you to know something. I'm just going to throw this out there. In our chat, it's unbelievable what's been going on since in the past like weeks with all the eBay sales and between everybody. And I looked at Justin. I go, dude, can you go 6 hours?
No.
Can you go 7 hours without buying something? He goes, I'm weak. I
Unbelievable.
just can't. It's unbelievable. They were just
Nothing else to watch.
Hey, you
Enough
ain't
to do.
trying unless your eBay watch list says you can no longer fit anything on your watch list.
right.
That's
So,
crazy.
I didn't get, all right. So I'm really upset that I didn't get this one book because it's actually only coming from Staten Island. So I literally could have drove to the guy's house and picked it up in like 30 minutes. And I'll get it tomorrow, but I wanted to show this book off. So I saved the picture that was on eBay. So we were having a happy hour last weekend, right? Last Friday. Is that when we did our happy hour.
that's right.
And and you guys were, and I said, oh, don't tempt me on books or whatever.
No, you
And
did.
throughout the week, and I was like, I put in an offer on something.
You
Yeah.
I can't believe
I got
you.
$100 off the cover, off the asking price.
Wow.
No way. You lowballed them?
I lowballed them, and I was just like, you know what? If he says no, I just don't take it because it's like whatever.
Wow.
So
You know what? I feel
$100
partially
off.
responsible for this because I egged him on. So.
I
You
said,
totally
"Don't
did.
tempt me, mother." So that is coming in tomorrow.
That's a
All right.
beautiful book, man.
So tell us, Justin, for me, who's not a Hughes guy, I know who Hughes is obviously, but what's the backstory on this? Low print ratio, hard to find, Adam Hughes.
It's a
all
1 in
that?
100. So,
Okay.
DC Comics did this Convergence six issue thing.
Yeah,
There's
awful
probably
storyline.
Yeah, terrible, awful storyline. I mean, the variants are not that great except for this one, but who's really going to trust on a $5 cover price? So that means you're into it for $5 at 100 copies. Most stores are not going to order 100 copies just to get this because at the end of the day, you really don't know if you're even going to go through 20 copies of issue 0. So
Right. Oh, that's issue 0. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, Convergence was awful.
Yeah. So I picked that up over you guys tempting me. I didn't grab the other one. If
Oh my God.
Right.
didn't
You
grab
guys
the
are
other
messing
one.
with me. You don't think I'll do it? I'll do it. Don't tempt me.
Then you told us you were bidding on something, so we all went on there. You're like, you better not outbid
Oh
me.
yeah, we'll get to that one. So I'll put myself
Oh my
on
God.
the big screen. Let me grab everything. So put this stuff over here. We'll put the slabs. We'll end with the slabs. So
Tim, we got a big scoop for this Wednesday.
I will
setting
say
up.
this for sure on May 23rd. It's compiling on to be a really giant scoop, but
Okay.
I've been sworn to secrecy. But I can say this that Spider-Man will be marvelous in 2021.
Okay. All right, there we go.
all right.
Let's see, what do we got, buddy?
All right. So I was going through, obviously in this quarantine is a great time to organize your comics. And I thought that I had all of Spider-Gwen's variants series 1. And in my CLZ app, I had them all. I had them checked off that I had them, but going through them and making sure that I did, I actually didn't. So the first
You
book,
mean your coverprice.com, right?
well, yes, it's my new cover price as I'm
okay.
transferring over, which I need to do that soon. I like cover price because it says my collection's worth $70,000 or $30,000, and I only have 60.
I love cover price.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So this is Spider-Gwen number 3. This is the comic exposure variant.
Oh, nice. Mike
And
Mayhew.
it was probably the faster way to get comic exposure books because they are the fourth company in the world. So, series 1 is now complete of Spider-Gwen variants. Really cool.
I've never seen that one.
I've never
That's-
seen that either, Tim.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
really-
too bad. I thought
I
it was
like
going
it
to be
cool
a
'cause
big money book.
in the background. It says live at the CBGB. So, I mean, if you if you're from the New York area and you have ever been to that place, for a concert, it's really cool. It's a small little bar.
Only
Wow.
Otto's old enough to remember CBGBs.
Yeah,
I've been there.
there.
Hey, I saw Corn there, man.
Wow.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the home of punk rock, man.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
that's right. The Ramones.
Blondie. Yep.
And then this is some Star Wars books because I'm clearly just buying nothing but Star Wars
You're
books.
buying everything. Nobody can buy any books because Justin's bought them all.
2 copies of
Oh
Star
my
Wars:
God.
Knights of the Republic #9. First Darth Revan.
Shit, that reminds me. I had to go watch Clone Wars.
I heard it was off the
all
head.
right.
I heard it's
Real
really
quick.
good.
Wait, we
I heard
can't
it's
wait.
really good. I heard it's really good. But don't tell me. I gotta watch it.
It's the best lightsaber battle ever. I got chills. Ever.
So I
Ever.
haven't watched any of the last 4 or 5 weeks. I've been like, you know what? I know I'm gonna be locked down for a while, so I'm gonna like watch them all in one sitting when it's all.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
can't wait
done.
for it.
I got
the way
chills
everybody's been
so many
talking.
times watching today's episode. That's all I'm going to say. And I
Okay.
posted on my IG story, but just go watch. I can't wait to watch it again tomorrow. It's amazing.
Also, there's a new Netflix movie tonight, Extraction, with produced by the Russo brothers, starring Thor.
Yes.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I saw that.
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
that.
That
A
looks
new
good.
Harley
Looks good.
Quinn episode with Mr.
Oh,
Freeze.
Harley's the best.
Do you guys hear Harley's coming to Sci-Fi? How the fuck's that gonna happen?
Yeah, it's 3 her first
heavily
series is-
fucking edited, or
It's got to be, but it's like the first 3 episodes a week. They're doing it on a weekly basis. That's what
do
I
they drop F-bombs on the Sci-Fi network? Because I know on
No, I don't
AMC
know.
and
I
like
thought they
FX
did.
they do, but I don't know if
Yeah.
Sci-Fi does or not. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe late at night, but who knows? So, and Tim, you know this book. This was on our cover price top 10 at one point, and it fell off. But I found these for cover.
Skadoosh.
Jesus.
Would you
And number
Neat.
6 is
eBay?
yeah. They were. I bought 3 of them at cover price. So,
Oh, there you go. Sci-Fi doesn't edit. Nice.
oh yes, new Ghost in the Shell on Netflix. I gotta watch that. So, that was eBay. That was another one, and this was from Unknown Comics. Unknown Comics was having probably the most incredible sale ever. Buy 3 get 3 free variants. Like, and I couldn't find anything that I needed. So I bought 6 blank covers.
Hey.
But this is basically what the blank cover is. It's a sketch.
I love that one.
This
Love
was
that one.
exclusive to Unknown Comics for Tyler Kirkham. So
When did you get those? I didn't get mine yet.
Oh, I got these like last week.
I have not got mine yet. I ordered,
I'm gonna tell Justin's wife to like put all these emails in his that it gets straight to spam folder because I get emails from like Unknown, from J. Scott Campbell, and they're always trying to like, hey, for sale. I'm like, stay away.
Oh, and Roger, the same thing. Roger's like, I'm weak. I got to delete him right away. Roger won't even look at him sometimes.
Oh, I can't even.
No, but I saw the Unknown Comic sale, and it was like they were doing mystery boxes. They were doing like $100 for just all variants. It was,
Look at
like,
the one that
crazy.
came in today. It's like you get the books for free.
Yeah.
The ones I
It
sent
was
you guys
Spider-Man. It was
today.
Amazing Spider-Man 1, 2, 3,
Spider-Man
4, and
1 through
5.
5 with the variants, and then the other one was you get 5 mystery books for that week's read.
It's like the price of oil. They will pay you to get oil now. It's negative $37.
I had to pay shipping. I'm like, this is a no-brainer.
So back to what we did last Friday with our little happy hour StreamYard private. A book came up that I had never seen before.
Oh my God.
A J. Scott Campbell book.
Oh, you
This
gotta
was
be kidding
Star
me.
Wars #1. This is the cargo hold variant.
Dude. And he buys it in a 9.
That's dope.
Nice.
I've never seen this. That was so cool to see J. Scott Campbell do Jabba the Hutt and Boba
Do
Fett.
you know that the next day I was in an auction for that book because of you?
Really?
I swear to God that for like an hour I was the high bidder.
Yo, we're not allowed to
I
have
got-
any more of these private happy hours.
I got outbid like at the last second. I put like my max at like $100 or whatever, and someone outbid me at the last second.
Mhm.
That's too funny.
And this is from an Instagram buy. This was from Zenob 808. He had tons of slabs for, I don't know, they were like $100, less than $100. So I picked this one up. This is Batman 655. This was the 1 in 10 variant, first appearance of Damian Wayne in a 9.6.
Nice.
I mean, you can't go wrong for under $100, like especially for this one. So I already had this.
Is that Andy Kubert or?
Yeah.
He did the cover too.
Adam Kubert did the cover, but Andy did the interior art.
Oh, so killer. It's the Kubert brothers.
Together. Yeah. I may consider throwing this one up for auction next Friday since I have another one and I really need a 9.8.
We have an auction next Friday?
Well, the Long Box has an auction.
Oh, can't wait.
May the first be with you auction.
May the first be with you auction.
Everett, you're going to have to auction some books for me.
Oh, jeez. You can wear a mask right next to me.
After this week, I'm having trouble making rent.
So this book was eluding me for quite a long time, and with the Justice League Dark news, I had to pick this up. And Dave knows this book. It's a DC Superstars number 11. This is, and Sith Lordly, if you're still here, we were talking about this in a DM in IG. I should have told you I was going to tell you.
Oh,
Tana story.
That is
one shot and a 9.2. This thing is awesome.
Damn.
And I'm sure Darkside Jedi likes this as well. So
that's so dope.
Yes. I had to buy this. So it was always something that I
had to have it.
Had to
have it.
What's the year on that? What's the year on
1977.
Damn.
Really?
9.2 white pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought, just when I looked at that book, I thought that was something that they redid, like a remaster, but that's
no.
That's
it's
dope.
It's a square bound book too, right?
No. It's
it looks like a square bound.
It's thick, but it's not thick enough where it's square bound.
Wow.
So you are killing it. See, unbelievable.
And last but not least, and let me tell you, Dave,
Jesus.
We talked about this in our private chat, but let me tell you, this cover, like when you see this in person, it doesn't do it justice. Like, it's so amazing. And this is the first time that I've ever bought a trade graded.
Ooh.
This is Spider-Gwen Greater Power #1. This is her first trade paperback. This basically reprints issues 1 through 6. It's graded, and it's actually the Turkish edition.
Oh no!
In a 9.4 with a remark signed by the cover artist, who is Celeste Koch, and who did that remark, and it's also signed by Robbie Rodriguez. Right.
Dude, that's so sick.
And I think it's limited to like 500 copies, and it was only available in Turkey.
Only available in Turkey, no less.
It says right there, and it's all even in the back. Like if you could, like that's not English.
Did you go on Turkish eBay to buy that?
I got it from some guy in Florida.
Turkish Star Wars.
I was
no.
Oh my God! You need to go find Turkish Star Wars. Turkish anything from the 70s is some of the most bootleg dripped off stuff ever, and it is absolutely freaking hilarious, man.
Well,
Justin
had to turn me on to this stupid video. Thanks a lot, Alex.
Oh yeah,
all the collections of all the ASM 300s reprinted throughout the countries. So the one that I liked the most was the Italian one. It was all black cover. So I went on Italian eBay, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, "What is 40,00? Is that $400 or $40? I don't know.
Lira or some shit. What is this? What is the currency in Italy?
At that time, I think it was now. Dude, I
thought you were just messing with us. I'm like, are you really on Italian eBay?
Yes, I was on Italian eBay. I had a guy work with.
Go to ebay.uk.
Turns out it was €43, €40, which is 43 of our dollars, but he was able to translate it, and it said no shipping outside Italy.
It's expensive
because I look at that book on our eBay and it's a $400 book. I go to Italy eBay and it's $30, $40.
Oh my
god.
Yeah. So that's all I got. That's all I got right now.
That's all you got right now. That's all you got coming in right now.
I got some stuff in the mail too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So when we were talking about this, I'm like, this is going to take hours to do, but we're definitely kicking through it. So I only have 2 books. Am I the last 2 to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I blame people for certain things, right? Because I can't take responsibility for myself. So I blame Shortbox Bernie, Dave in the Cave, a little bit of Justin because I like to blame Justin for any type of variant that I buy. I blame Dave in the Cave for his high ratio variants.
Yes.
And I blame Shortbox Bernie for showing this to me in the first place. So the other day I'm messing around and I actually have another copy of this coming in, but I bought a raw one just in case. And I totally lowballed the guy. And if you guys know, I've been collecting, been working on, I just got my first Sinister 6. I got to figure out how to do this. See,
Oh,
God
I know
damn
what
it,
this
Roger.
is.
So
That's what happens when I'm not there.
exactly. See, I'm gonna end up cutting the book.
Yeah, this thing pre-opened.
Yeah, I should have, but my God. Anyway, so where is this book right here? So this book was really nicely packed, and let's see what we got. I hope I don't cut my hand off or whatever. Oh, he threw in something. I got a freebie out of it. All right. So the freebie was the Edge of Venomverse, right?
Oh,
Very
that's
cool. I got
Oh, nice.
That's
there.
exclusive to somebody.
Yeah, right. That's definitely Matina too, right?
Yeah. Either it's
Okay.
Martina.
I
All
have
right.
that book in the version.
All right. So here is my copy. It's funny that Dave pulled it off.
Hey, you selling that?
No, they're keeping this, dude. So this is my Ramita cover, Sinister 6, or more people. But when Shortbox Bernie showed this to me at my house, I'm like, dude, I've never seen this. I'm like, here I am on a Sinister 6 kick, and I'm like, I've never seen this. And he's like, well, you can't buy this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I let it go, and then we start talking about it again, and I'm like, bang, I got it. So I definitely found this raw. He said
eBay?
high grade. I don't know. I got it
on
for
eBay, Everett.
I did, and I lowballed them too, so I got it for like almost half price,
Nice.
and pretty excited to have that. So there we go. So now I have a cool book that
Cover looks like, because it almost looks like that Venom is a remark.
it does. But
Yeah, no, he's in there.
He's definitely in there. But you've got Kingpin, you've got Shocker, you've got more than you've got like the Sinister 8, like Sinister 7. You got MJ right there. So really happy to have this book. This book is definitely going to Rocket to get pressed and come back.
Talk about a character getting butchered in the movies. The Shocker.
I know, terrible. So I do have a package right here that when deals come along, you can't say no, right? You just can't. And there's certain people who, well, first of all, I want to say anybody I think that I deal with on Instagram, I find them to be of the utmost character, right? And whether it's dealing and stuff like that, I don't think I've ever been burned, but if you ever burn anybody on Instagram, I think Tim can attest to it, Justin can attest to it. Once you burn somebody on Instagram, you're done, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how tight the community
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah,
community,
fucking losers.
community lets it be known.
Right. So there are a few people on Instagram who go above and beyond to help out the community. And one of those people is KP Henderson, right?
Oh, yeah, Kevin. Good people.
And Kevin is one of the greatest guys on Instagram. He's one of the most generous people. I hope he's watching this. So he actually won a raffle. He won 2 raffles for both of these books.
Oh, I know this.
And he's like, I don't need 2 of them. I'm just going to keep one. And I'm like, oh my God, you're really going to sell that? I'm like, and it's at a grade that I like. So you guys know I like specific grades. And I think when you find Silver Age books, at 5, I like the number 5. I just think 5 is a great grade for a Silver Age book that's hard to find of value. Like my first Namor is a 5. My first Silver Age Cap is a 5. So those are great numbers. And he had this, and it was white pages. Now I'm not a white page snob, but if it comes along with it, I'll do it. But here it is. I've never owned this book before. It was just an unbelievable price. It is.
Oh, look at that.
My God.
Bring the fire.
Look at
Batgirl,
you.
Silver Age Batgirl, 1967.
Look at Curry, man. So inspirational.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. First appearance of Batgirl is Barbara Gordon. Killer Moth appearance. Gardner Fox, John Broome stories. Carmine Infantino in cover and art. 5.0 white pages from 1967. Detective Comics, 359. So, let me tell you something. He didn't give it to me. He sold it to me for, I'm telling you, a couple hundred below GPA. So it was one of those things where I said, Kev, what are you asking? He goes, Otto, listen, tell me what GPA is. I did. He goes, almost half price. So I'm very fortunate to be part of a great community and have great people around me. So KP Henderson, you're a great guy. Keep doing what you're doing. He works in a hospital.
Numerous times gave us books for Lord's giveaways. And I would say numerous times because we've hit 1, 2, 3, 4,000 like 2 times. So
Right.
so I know he's always like He's sending out another batch. I just think he said so in there because he's in our IG live chat as well.
Yeah.
So if you really want to know the big the Illuminati. We have a secret cabal IG group. So
that's right.
There's some serious stuff being said in that chat.
There definitely is. So this is the
biggest
football
book talk all of a sudden.
Here, wait. I'll be a terrible friend. So Everett, you got that 5.0 there. You got to get a statue to match it now.
Well, I might. It depends. And this is a book. I mean, Dark Side Jedi had a copy I was going to buy, and I passed on it. And it's just a book that I see a lot, and I've always been enamored with it because I'm a Batman 66 fan, and I loved her in the Batman 66 on her her cycle and stuff like that. But I'm just looking at this book, and it's a 5.0 white pages, and it's just got everybody on the cover. It's just a classic book.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm happy to have that. So KP Henderson works in a hospital. He's on the front lines with everybody right now. So I can't say enough about that. So awesome.
Definitely appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it for my books. I got nothing else, man. All right. So Justin, how long have we been going for? We've almost been going for an hour.
45.
Or hour and 4. That's a lot of talking. So let's wrap up. Tim, you're going to be a busy guy tomorrow. Tell everybody what's going on one last time.
2 p.m. Pacific, gonna have a Comics Toons and Toys live sale. I was also asked to be on the Mainframe Comic-Con to host something, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it because I'm going to be helping out the Big To-Do. They wanted me to be part of that. They're doing some giant online thing called Mainframe Comic-Con over on the Comic Core. I'm going to try to, but they wanted me at 4 p.m., and I don't think I'll be done at Mike's by 4 p.m.
No.
If I do get on the Mainframe Comic-Con, I am going to bring on and do a Canadian Invasion, and I'm going to bring on Ken Lashley and Word Burglar, and we're going to rock it with some.
Cool.
We're going to call it Lords of the North.
I love it.
Don't knock Canadians, man.
But for sure, 2 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to do the live sale. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will be in there, so good luck to everybody. Thanks
Absolutely.
for
Stuff.
No, absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us. So Dave in the Cave just dropped a few videos. You did a room tour on Dave in the Cave.
Yes.
Great video. I when you're walking down the stairs, I'm like, is this dude robbing his own house? Like, so that was a great video. So
sounded like he was making sure he didn't wake the kids up.
I know.
There
exactly. So anything planned on your channel or?
I think I'm going to jump on the bandwagon, do a top 25 of some flavor. I have no idea, but we'll figure it out. But definitely check out the room tour as a labor of love. Took me a week to edit it. there were many reshoots, as you saw.
Yeah.
But hey, happy to be here, and let's go on to the next one, I guess.
Awesome. Roger, you got more mail calls coming in?
I do. I got I got all the stuff that I bought from the Big To Do last week.
Yep.
That'll be coming in. I bought on the NY Warriors auction. I bought a book from Thorough because there's no sports. So what do you watch? You watch auctions.
That's right. Awesome.
Don't what they say about Canada? Canada's like your attic. You forget it's there. When you go up there, you're like, wow, look at all this cool shit.
Right. Dude, look at Boston Chris. I love it. Boston Chris. I just won that Spider-Man Romita here. Congratulations for you, man. There you go.
Love it.
Nice.
You want a 9-0? Because I don't want that.
Yeah, all right.
So I appreciate everybody watching. Whoever's watching on the rewind, whoever's been with us, follow me on Instagram, Roger Levesque. It's been a good time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Just Nemesis Prime.
Yeah, real quick. Tim, just comment on the live chat. Sydney Howe's asking for the link for tomorrow, so at least you could just link it to the channel.
All right, will do.
So he could just put that up. Me, I don't know. Past my part 3 of my top 50 variants, I am going to start working on my top 50 just graded comics of my collection. I actually want to do a blooper video. Me and Dave have talked about this. Everybody does it. You record stuff, you say shit, and then you're just like, so I'm going to put together possibly a blooper video. I am sending some more books out to CGC, so I don't know if I'm going to do a pre-recorded video of what I think they're going to come back, but it's all moderns. So But really, thank you guys so much. You know, there was a ton of people in the live chat. We've been going for almost just about 2 hours. I want to thank everybody who's watching this live on the rewind. Tomorrow, definitely please check out Lords of the Long Box. Tim's going to be busting his hump. We're going to try to be doing as much as we can as moderators. And please support all the local comic shops, whether it's in your area or, you know, anywhere, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you see these sales or anything that you can do, please help out to them.
Right. Absolutely.
Sure.
So I just want to reiterate that. So things that we've got going on. Typically, I've been doing my comics and cartoons show on Sunday. Don't know if I'm going to do that yet because of tonight's show, but I'll definitely let everybody know. Everybody who won the giveaway, please contact me on Instagram, Everett_Otto. Remember, tomorrow is a big show on Lords of the Long Box to help support the Big To Do and Comics, Toons, and Toys. And again, thank you everybody for watching. So this Tuesday, we've got the cover price, right, Tim?
Cover price top 10 on Tuesday. Don't have any scoops on Wednesday, but we may be dropping. I'm working with Ken Lashley to where he's going to do a original art commission, and all the we're going to auction it off during a live show, and all the proceeds will go to charity to help out either the comic book creators or comic shops in Ken's area. I'm also working with the Word Burglar, probably get him back on. And then next Friday, May 1st, guys, huge Lords auction. We'll probably start a little bit early since nobody's working, right? So
Start early. Why not?
Like 5 p.m., right? Why not? We go for 6 hours.
5 p.m. Pacific.
Right?
Yeah. 8 o'clock Eastern time on the Lords of the Long Box. We'll all be dropping, you know, some either video, most likely just pictures.
Definitely next Wednesday, guys. We will at the very least do a auction preview show. How's that sound?
For sure. I agree with you. That'd be great. All right. Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a great show. Hold off. Stay tuned for my 1,500 subscriber giveaway and all the cool things we're going to have. And on behalf of Lords of the Long Box, my brothers, TiVo, Darkside Jedi, Milton and Manimal, on behalf of all my brothers at 3 Men in the Bases, Nemesis Prime, David and K, Roger Levesque, I am Otto, and I am out. Peace.
Good night.